Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Safe Room. I'm your host, the President Sean Williams. We're back with another episode. It's a Saturday, so it's a weekend recording things, just vibing out and everything. And today, so it's a long way to guess. This is someone I've been trying to get for the longest time. This person's absolutely amazing at what she does. And honestly, I'm really grateful to have the relationship I have with this person because I feel if she wasn't someone who believed in me, then kind of just be stuck on my own path, do my own little deggy stuff, and But today we have Sunshine. Sunshine, how is it? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to this for like forever.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I feel like for both of us, this is kind of like destiny in a sense. It's like I wanted to get you,
Yes,
you wanted to come on, so like we're making it happen.
exactly. Hey, we promised this on Instagram Live. We're like, listen, guys, this has to happen.
That's true. That's true. If for people who don't know, listen, you have to go back into the archives, man. Go check out Connect North York, man. Go check out the IG. Listen, like I was like literally coming home from church too, and like I just hopped on, and I'm like, yeah, yo, can I just come on the conversation, just see what's going on and everything? So,
Yo, my Instagram Lives are the best when Sean comes in. You know,
I
the energy's up. The energy's up.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, that's great. So today we're gonna get into some of your things because again, you have just been killing it, like absolutely killing it, juggling so much stuff. So we're definitely gonna get into that. Get to know Sunshine, everyone. Like I said, she was probably one of the first people that really started to open me to new doors. Because I'm not gonna say that I was like stuck in one lane. I would probably say that I was just doing fine with myself, but then in Sunshine's like, oh, like I can see you doing like even more in a sense. So it's just kind of like, yeah, like you need someone like that. That's a winner circle right there. So
Facts, facts.
yes. So again, we're gonna get into all of that. You're gonna learn a lot about Sunshine. Like I said, she's done some incredible things, and we're gonna get to everything that we possibly can. Hopefully, you won't talk for too long because I know sometimes when Sunshine and I are clicking the conversation.
That could go on for hours,
Right,
for hours.
right. So we're definitely gonna keep tracking that. But before we get into the questions, we gotta start off with our segment, the hot seat. Come on, guys. You already know what time it is. Listen, I know Sunshine's like, wait a minute, the hot seat, like
Wait, what?
it's nothing crazy, nothing alarming. I'm just gonna ask you four simple questions and just answer them to your best ability.
All right, let's get it.
So, question number one. So, outside of your work, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Damn, bro. mm, it's a tough one still.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of things. I like a lot of things. I don't know. It's hard to put in one sentence like everything that incorporates me because I actually love too many things. It's not even like, oh, I like doing this, I like doing that. I really love doing a lot of things. And yeah, I don't know. It's such a hard question for me. It truly is. Like I'm not even like trying to like oh, you caught me off guard. This is a question I'm trying to figure out for myself. How to describe myself in one sentence.
Right.
Um, because even outside of work, like work is my life, you know? Because I love doing what I do. Um, yeah, that's already too long, you know?
No, like I feel like when you said like I like to do like many things, like I feel like that's perfect because it kind of really expresses how you are. You're a person that's again, you're not one dimensional. You're not someone that's like, oh, like Sunshine is just known for this. It's like no, like Sunshine could do everything if she puts her mind to it. So I mean, that's a perfect way to describe yourself. So I think like you kind of answered the question without even realizing you answered the question.
Sort of. Something like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely see that. But again, I totally feel you. I was one person at one point where I was doing everything, but I wanted to find out one thing that I was like really good at. Now, for me, it's podcasting. That's that one thing that I like.
Look at where we are.
Yeah, exactly. So again, but that's not a bad answer. Not at all. Like I would even say that's terrible. So I've heard some crazier ones, so don't even worry about it.
Oh, okay, okay, bet. As long okay, okay, that's fine. I'm good with that then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't even stress. Don't even stress. So, question number two: a project that you are most proud of.
I would say the Connect North York project, that event, is one of my like favorite pieces of work. And because it doesn't just incorporate like work, it incorporates literally everything I do, from designing the like t-shirt to like, bringing people together. And then we had youth in there, we had North York in there, we had community. Like, it's literally everything that I'm about, and I love that so much. And so, yeah, like I learned a lot about that, like for myself from that project. And I would say that's just my number one right now. And like, I keep applying for things and they keep asking me that question too. And I'm like, this is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, Connect North York, that first event. Yeah.
That was a special event.
First of
Yeah,
many.
first of many. That was a
First
special
of
event.
many. Shout out to Sean. Sean was the host. This guy killed it. Even with the Instagram lives, this guy was active, and like he did it out of his heart and like not out of like any personal gain. Like, he was really in it. So I appreciate you because you were like the number one person who was there too, like actually putting in work, not just saying things, but actively being a part of it too.
Yeah.
So I appreciate
Of,
you.
of course, of course. I remember when you reached out to me again, like with the opportunity. I was just kind of like, bro, she could have went to anyone else. Like, who the hell am I, bro? like, like not little.
Yo, you're Sean. You're Sean. That's why I went to
Yeah, but I'm thinking like,
you.
yo, bro, I'm just trying to like put the pieces together. Just like one random day, hey, yo, Sean, like you want to MC this event? I'm just like, bro, not even like a hello, hi, how are you, and everything.
Yo, we're straight to business.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. It was great, and the opportunity was absolutely fantastic. Being able to like connect with people, networking. And again, I'm a person that always wants to have everyone win. Everyone has to have a seat at the table because like we're all trying to get to the same place. Like, why are we fighting to like take down a person that you know? Just like, oh, I envy them. I'm jealous of them. It's just like, why do you have
Bro, just do your own thing.
right?
Like, like who cares? Like, and like, oh, just for some background too, like Connect North York was actually supposed to be a basketball tournament, and it was supposed to happen in like 2019. But one, I didn't know anything about making like a public event like that. Two, I don't know anything about setting up a tournament or like working with the city to get that happening. But even this year, like it was supposed to be a tournament, but due to scheduling, I had to get it done as soon as possible. And like the whole process with the paperwork and the permits and stuff wasn't aligning with my timeline because it was actually my final project of there's this organization called the Kickback, and
Mm-hmm.
they are also youth led. They're also based in Toronto, and that was my final project from their ambassador program. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that like Connect North York was three years ago or something like that, like
Mm.
2 3 years ago, and like for it to actually happen now, and like even I didn't even know you like 3 years ago, like it just aligned. It just aligned with
Yeah,
everything I'm
it's,
doing.
I think to even clarify, it's not that I even know you. Like I saw you, but we just never really
We didn't,
we
yeah, we never
we never
spoke.
spoke. Because I know sometimes you would pull
Yeah,
up to Downsview, and like I would see you with like
yeah.
just hanging out. Like it's like I always see her. I'm like, does she go here, bro? I'm like, what is going on? Like, and now all of a sudden here we are.
All the events and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like now we're
oh
sitting
man, I'm
here.
pretty sure. I swear that we have pictures from like probably like 2016 or something, and like we're both in the picture. We probably don't know.
Yeah, just
Like I'm pretty
it's
sure.
just like
Now you have to go to the archives.
right. No, it's one of those situations where like you're hanging out with like really successful people and like you didn't realize, oh yo, we met back and like they have like that
Like
special
way,
photo
way
where it's like,
back.
oh shoot, you were in there. Oh shoot,
You're
you were
in
in there.
there,
You were in there.
bro. I was standing right beside you. Like what?
Right. Nah, but yeah, like again, it was supposed to be a basketball tournament. And I hope that also happens too. But I think
Oh, that's happening. That's happening.
yeah, so
I,
but
I told you and Kevin, like, yo, that's happening. Like, it's no joke.
yeah, for real, for real. I think one of the lessons from that, and even I'm learning myself, is that sometimes with certain projects, it's all about like timing. And like, even though like it was supposed to be a basketball tournament, I think the way it still panned out, it was still like a huge
Yeah.
success.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's something I'm trying to figure right now. Question number three: an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
I at one point and still kind of want to get into. Actually, there's so many things I have hidden, but let me take this one out. Maybe it will turn into something. Um, I actually wanted to get into like interior designing. Not like, I don't know. It's been something that's always been there. But like, I don't know. I just find like, the comfort of your home, and like it should be a place of peace. And like I feel like the next question I know it, so it kind of helps with that. But yeah, I don't know. I like looking at things. So
Mm,
like I can have like a 4x4 room, and like somehow some way I want to make sure that it's cozy, feels like home, it's nice,
mm.
aesthetics and stuff like that. Like I'm really into like aesthetics and just like comfort. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, especially when it's like the mood is right. Like sometimes if it's like winter and like your interior just kind of feels so cozy, where it's like, all right, I don't have to stress about going out today, or maybe I'm off from work, so I can just stay in my house, chill in my room, my living room, kitchen, everything. Like it brings a vibe for sure.
Yes. And like I don't know if people know this, but like I'm a homebody. Like I'm a real homebody. Like I love being at home more than being outside. Like I'll host an event, but I'd rather actually like just host it, make sure everything's good. Okay, I'm gonna cut. You guys have fun, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
I love being at home. I love being at home so much.
I'm the same. Like people need to understand. I think everyone is kind of shocked. 'Cause they're probably thinking like Sean, Sunshine, you guys are bullshitting. You guys are the most active
Right?
people. Listen, if I'm out the house, there's a purpose.
That's a rare occasion.
Like there's a
Yeah.
purpose.
There's a goal.
Like there is not me where I'm like, yo, let's go to the club, or like let's just go out to go. It's like, bro, if I ain't got no objective or any
I'm not
meaning,
really coming.
I'm chilling in my bed. I'm watching YouTube. I'm probably gonna do some work still, but like I'm chilling
Yeah.
in the
Chilling
four
at home.
spaces of my house. Like,
Yes, exactly.
right. So
And like like to speak on that, man, we talk a lot, but like
no, no, go
to
ahead, go
speak on
ahead.
that, so I met Nicole. I met Nicole actually recently. It was great. And she did a fashion show
Yes,
at Lavelle.
bro.
And
I
like,
saw that. I was just
yo,
like, bro, what the heck is
what?
happening?
They
Because like,
met
I think the
up.
funniest thing about it, because I think I told Nicole, because again, she was like my life coach for a couple of months, and I told her about some of the projects we wanted to run, and it was like Sunshine was helping me with, and she's like, "Yo, this Sunshine person sounds amazing." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll link you to her IG," and then I think you told me like one day she just messaged her, was like, "Who the heck is this person?" Just like, oh, like, I came from Sean. It's like, of course.
There you go.
Yeah, but continue, continue.
Yeah, so the show is actually at there's this if for people from not from Toronto, there's a club called Lavelle, and it was hosted there. So I took pictures, like behind the scenes pictures for her before the show, and like I ended up taking pictures of other models too. But before the show started, I actually cut like because I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to be at the club. Like, okay, the show's going on. There's like 200 photographers. I'm good. I'm out of here.
Mhm.
Like that's pretty much it. But like I went home. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm trying to go home.
Yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, obviously I know about Lavelle. Lavelle's like one of the more like notable spots, you know.
Yeah. It's really nice though. It's really
It's
nice.
different.
Like,
Like I remember going there my first time. It was like we all went out for dinner. It was like late at night, and just I was like at first trying to find the place was difficult because they're like, okay, go up the elevator, go through here, go through here. I'm like, where the hell is this place, man? And then you get there and it's kind of like it's sort of like restaurant slash
yeah,
nightclub
restaurant, bar,
vibe.
nightclub.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I didn't even actually go into the actual like main space. I literally went to their like I guess their washroom because
Oh,
that's where they set up the change room, but I was mostly there and then the side where it's facing the CN Tower.
yeah,
But not the main space. I didn't go in there because I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to go in there.
yeah, yeah.
Like even though they had their event set up, I was not trying to like be in the like mix of the actual event. I was just trying to take the pictures
Mhm.
because like that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And like I realized too like, yo, there's an elevator guy. Like I'm like, what is this
Mhm.
place? Like this is nice. And
Yeah.
like I felt nice walking out too because there was a lineup. I'm like, oh, I'm leaving. Like you guys are lined up. Like oh, it's like that.
We all get those moments where like you feel like a boss. So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, cool. Okay, so the final question: what is your personal safe room?
My room. Which I just answered that. That's why I was like, I feel like this is gonna answer it, but yeah, yeah, no. I like being in my own space. Like, I'm very I take peace very seriously, and like being in my own space, I can control the vibe, and like I just let things happen, and like I don't have to worry about anybody else talking to me or anything like that. Like it's not that I don't like people. Like obviously I love people, or else I wouldn't be working in these types of things where I have to be around people all the time.
Right.
But I think that's another factor too, being surrounded by so many people all the time, and like everybody's doing their thing. Everybody also, everybody has things going on, and so I like just being in my own space. I need alone time. Like, if you know me, I probably ghost a lot, or like not ghost, but I'm like very distant because I just need my own. I need to be in my own, get my mind right, get myself right. But yeah,
Mm.
my own room is my number one. Like, I take it very seriously.
Yeah, that's good. And I love how you mentioned how you find peace in that. That's what a lot of people just kind of forget. Like when you're in your house, that is your safe space and you find peace. You're not worried about like, the outside world. It's kind of like your own personal bubble in the way where you get to just kind of de-stress, step
Yeah.
aside from like all the chaos and drama because we know there's a lot that's happening like in the world in the city of Toronto as well. So yeah, that's really great.
Thank you.
So yeah, that
Damn, bro. It's only 4 questions in, and we're already.
Yeah, but again, that was the segment, the hot seat. Again, something very simple. Just let's open up the floor, let people know more about you, like the fun side. But now we're gonna get to like the business you and everything.
All right, let's go.
All right, cool, cool, cool. So again, like, and you consider yourself, and honestly, I consider you as like a multimedia creator because again, you do like so many things. It's absolutely astonishing. So, I just want to know, like, when was the first time you dived into like film, media, just in that realm, and like, what was like the turning point where you told yourself, okay, this is cool, I'm doing everything now, but I want to start taking this a little bit more seriously. I actually want to start put in a structure, figure out where do I stand? Am I going to turn this into like my own personal brand? Am I going to start a business with it? So like just first off, talk about when you first started and what was the turning point for you to go on a more serious note.
All right, so I think it all started with music. Growing up, like, I love music, and only very, very recently I realized that music was actually an escape for me when I was younger. And like, there's so much to bag with that, but yeah, music is what started everything. And like, we would have to like pick up my mom sometimes. She would work at this place, and like we would have to pick her up at like 2 3 a.m. And so the radio would be playing, so I'm like half asleep. I'm like 6 or 7, and I'm like listening to music half asleep. So I got used to that, and so during that time too was like Cardinal Official, and like Drake was like upcoming. Like it was in the time before Drake, but like he was like right
He
there at
was
the
he
sweet
was
spot.
there, but like
He
not
was
as
there.
like that top
Yeah.
tier at the point.
Yeah. Like it was like 2007 type of vibe,
Hmm.
type of thing. But like, yeah, music is the number one thing that started my interest with art. And going from there, I would, like, whenever I get asked, like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up, type of thing, I would always write down like a list of things. I would, because I didn't know what I wanted to be exactly, but I knew I liked photography, even though I did not have a camera. I liked photography. I wrote engineer at one point, like all these different things, but like I always knew that photography somehow, some way, like I loved it, and that's kind of where it started. If you know me from elementary school, like, yo, we have some YouTube videos that are never to be found. Like, don't find them, okay? Because like, if you know, you know, but like, don't find them.
I just love how you're just like, yeah, just stay away, but I'm not sure. I feel like you
Don't.
telling them to stay away is now gonna pique the interest. Like, wait, what are
You
you
won't
talking
find
about?
it though. Like, the people who know, they know, but like, if you try to find it, you can't find it, type of thing. But we used to make, like, me and my best friend during that time. We used to make YouTube videos like Ryan Higa, right? Like him and Sean. We would like replicate their videos sometimes, and like we'd post them, and like my brother would be in the background too, and this guy's like 6 or something. But yeah, we made some like YouTube videos, and I also noticed in school, like whenever there'd be a video project or something like that, like I would love to like make a script, and like I made like a spinal cord informative video parody of Kesha, like the TikTok song, like, TikTok on the
Yeah.
clock type of thing. Yeah,
Hmm.
Yo, I wrote out a whole like parody that rhymed or it rhymed. It didn't really rhyme to that song about the spinal cord. And like I feel like that's somewhere on YouTube too. But yeah, in school, like I wanted to take the lead in certain projects that had to do with video stuff. And then throughout high school, like I also did like, I used to draw a lot. Doodles, not really doodles, but yeah, I would do some drawing sometimes. And going from elementary school to high school, me and my friends, first of all, shout out to Arij for being in those YouTube videos. Shout out to my brother too. But from the transition from elementary school to high school, me and my two other friends, Daniel and JR, we made Connect Toronto, which is the clothing brand. Originally, that was even a YouTube channel about sneakers. We didn't really do too much with it. I think there's maybe like 5 videos or something, but that turned into a clothing brand too, and that's kind of what sparked a lot of like creativity in terms of like drawing, designs, and like also doing photography and like the whole YouTube thing, you know, the video aspect of things. And I started doing graphic designs for a music artist that I knew also from elementary school. Shout out to Neil. We would just collaborate from time to time. I would use my photography or my like graphic designs for his cover art, and then eventually it became like a paid thing. So from there, after graduating high school, like I was working on Connect already, made a couple designs, did a couple drops. It was a pretty good time to do it too because I was still in high school, so I had a lot of support. But after that, I was doing like editing. So another person, it's funny because a lot of it has to do from like elementary school, like people I know from elementary school. Shout out to Jace. Jace was doing a music video at this time and he needed somebody to do like animations on top of like the actual video, like, you know, those ones, like it's like a drawing on top of the actual video. So he hired me, and it's funny because at that time my laptop literally broke down, and I had a teacher who let me use his, like we had a computer lab with Max, and I took like communications technology class for 3 years of high school, so that's where I learned like Photoshop, what else? Premiere Pro, like the whole Adobe suite, learning how to write a script and like everything that has to do with media. Like, I don't want to say like, no, shout out to Mr. Gordon. Like, he really taught me everything. He taught me a lot, and like he actually believed in me, and like literally everything I do, like that course teaches you everything from photography to making film to graphic design, like the entire Adobe suite. Like you would learn a bit about coding, animation, like literally everything. So that's really what helped me with everything too, because Jace hired me to do that editing, like that animation editing on top of his video. And so my laptop was broken. I was in this summer school class that he let me use the computer in. So he had students beside me. And like I wasn't, you know, I'm trying to do my thing because like I'm not even supposed to be here. Like my teacher was doing me a favor. Like he was letting me use the computers. And somebody in that class, he saw I was working on it. This man even walked up to me and he's like, yo, is that Killy? And I'm like, no. Like, I'm not working with Killy. Because he had like his hair in a braid and like he was wearing sunglasses, so you couldn't really see. But later on, I didn't realize that we actually followed each other on Instagram, like from way back. And so one day he posted up like, oh, who wants to join a record label? And at the time, like, I don't even know what a record label does. But I'm like, yo, I'll join. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but like, I'm down to work, whatever, I don't care. And he made me like executive producer and manager of the entire like label. Yeah, and it was
Wait a minute, hold on. That's a round of applause right there. Like, wow, that's
the thing
amazing.
is, I was like, what even is that? Like, bro, I didn't even know what that was. Like to this day, I still don't really know what that like is technically. But he's like, yeah, I seen you putting in work in the class. Like you're not even in our class, but I see you coming every single day to like work on your project. So here you go. Here's the title. Shout out to Jason, because like, bro, I don't know what you were thinking. Like, executive manager and like producer, like I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know anything about the music industry. And it was a startup label, so there was a couple people in there. Like I don't know how many people, but like it felt like 10 people or something like that, maybe over 10. But there was a bunch of like music artists and like producers. Some were based in the States, some were in Canada, some were from Toronto. Like some, like it was all online. That's the thing too. And I was doing that for a while, and then I left that, and I was managing two people from there because they asked me after. They're like, "Oh, you know, we like how you manage. We want you to manage us." And Willie, because they're the ones who asked me to do that. And then from there, I just, bro, I can tell you the whole story, like, cause from there, that's when I realized, like, oh, I like doing management. You know, the videography, photography, I love it too, but I really love management because there's a lot of structure that is missing, especially if you're like a startup artist or like you don't know about the industry. Because even that during that time, I had to like learn with them as we were going along. I joined. There's this media page in Toronto called Up Next Media. Shout out to them because I joined their community. Usually, when you join that sort of community, it was a music artist thing. Like, usually, music artists or music producers go there, they connect with people, and then try to work with people from there. Everybody's independent too, from what I know. One of the artists was supposed to come with me, but he couldn't make it, so I went instead. I even paid for their $10 membership because I'm like, yo, I'm trying to see what this is about. I don't know anything, so let me just jump in. I went there, and the guy who owns the company was like, yo, you do pictures, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, I do pictures. And he's like, can you take like pictures and videos like of the event? I'm like, okay. So I pull up, and like he even made me do like interviews of the community, and I was like, yo, I don't even like, okay, sure. Like, it was like last minute, but I did that too. And I met Shaq Diesel from there. Right now I'm part of the Diesel community, Diesel Collective. So they actually just started a label themselves, with publishing as well. There's so much more. I could tell you like every single story because it goes long, but
Yeah.
I really learned that I like doing like management and like PR stuff, getting things organized for people, because there's a lot of structure that I think is missing, and like a lot of people, they don't have the knowledge. Like it's the lack of resources,
Mm,
and like that's another thing that I like doing, like in general, like sharing resources, sharing opportunities, and like growing. So
yeah.
yeah, that's a really long story. But that's literally the journey of me going from like multimedia creative. Like that's why I identify myself as that, because I don't just do photography. Like whatever you need, like
Yeah.
figure it out type of thing. Because like that's why it's so hard for me to answer that question,
No,
because
like no,
it goes all the way from here to there, and like
no, that I think that's absolutely the way you said it was actually like very beautiful as well. You really went down to like details of everything. How it started. You just like I just like listen to music when I was growing up, to now like I kind of like do everything, whatever you need. Again, the huge one that I caught was like providing resources, being able to offer it to different people. Because like you said, with even with management, there's structures that a lot of people don't understand. Like I think a lot of people have the idea, they might have like the motivation, and it's like okay, let's go. But then when it's actually like, how am I actually gonna put this together? Like
yeah,
how am I
like
actually gonna put the pieces that it fits, and we're not having to keep drawing back so many times. Like, again, like that's something that a lot of people are learning, including myself, with certain things I want to do, but sometimes it's like, how do I actually run it? Like, how do I actually plan for something like that? So it's great to see. And I think what's even more amazing from your stories, the amount of connections that you had. Like, it kind of shows that you're not just great of meeting people, but the people that you met, they saw something special in you, in the sense where like,
yeah.
yeah, like I want to like give this person a chance. Like again, executive director off the jump.
I don't know. I don't know what the man was thinking, to be really
I mean,
honest.
like, I feel like you should boost that up all the time. Like, hey, yo, listen, like, they invited me to like the startup label, and like, I immediately got like one of the highest positions. So, like,
Yeah, I didn't even take in what I was supposed to do. Like, I tried to Google it. I'm like, what does an executive director do?
yeah, that's like a common name you hear on like any business, but it's kind of like I just kind of sit on a team, and like we just kind of I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that's absolutely amazing to hear. So like again, and like for you, like you started off like really young. Like again, for some
Yeah, I
people,
was like 18 at that time too.
right, 18 and like even before, like just being able to like figure out this is what I want to do, like like whether it's like photography or like doing this. It was at a young age. A lot of people to this day are still trying to figure out what they're good at. Like for me, like I was just doing a lot of stuff, and it wasn't until like 2 years ago I wanted to do this. It wasn't until like I was 20. I was 20 at the time I wanted to do this. You were like, yeah, I'm in elementary school and somehow like I'm doing photography, and years later I'm having like all these different responsibilities. So I think it's
Yo,
amazing.
but like the thing about that too is that I didn't even take myself seriously until I was in uni. For I was at York for like business and society, and I'm taking like
Say
microeconomics and
word.
like
Say word you took business society.
yeah, but
Are
I
you
didn't
serious?
finish. I didn't finish.
Wait,
I
wait.
left.
So what year was it? When did you first start?
2019.
I took business and society too.
No
Yes.
way! That's crazy.
What?
Yo, what? That's actually wild.
So
Like, I
okay.
don't know anybody who took that
So wait
program.
a minute. You took it in 2019. When did you like step away from it?
Like January.
In that like okay, so
Of
like
like
going
from
into
September to January, I
okay.
left. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yo, what? That's crazy. Listen,
I'm not gonna cap. I hated it. Like,
really
I actually hated it because like, bro, learning like, because I already had Connect Toronto or Connect Collective from 2014. So like, I also took a lot of like business courses in high school. Like I took international business. I took accounting. I don't know
oh
how.
accounting.
Yeah. Okay, accounting, yo, low key,
It's
like side note, is actually fun. I don't
it's
know.
fun, yeah. Like when you first take
Personally.
it when you're young, you hate it, but when you look back, it's like nah, like this is
No,
like
this is
revenue,
fun.
expenses,
Yo, let me
liability.
like give me my spreadsheets, fam. Like
Yeah.
but yeah, it was everything I was learning. I took even marketing classes. Like every single course I took in high school, I literally applied it to my clothing brand like the same day because I was trying to test it out. Like, oh, yo, I learned this thing in school. Let me actually try to use this. And I think that's another reason why I hate uni because it was all theory and like learning like economics. I'm like, bro, I'm
Mm,
already running a business. Like, what
yeah.
the hell are economics gonna do for me? Like, I don't care about
No, I can
economics.
testify you're spitting 100% fact because like with business society. So for people who don't know, like it's a program at York and it's like interdisciplinary studies. So it's not just business. It talks about business, economics, sometimes sociology, political science, and like
I
don't
didn't
get
even
me
get to that point though.
yeah
Like, I took the
exactly.
basic ones and I was like, yo, I can't do this.
So
Like,
like
I'm out of here.
I will say this. I think it did help me because understanding the theories of businesses and how they operate, especially on a more corporate level. So sometimes
Yeah.
understanding simple
It's
concepts.
mostly corporate, I
It's
would say.
corporate, which
It's
is
really corporate.
it's good
It's
though because
good.
if
Yeah,
you
it's good. Honestly, I can't, I personally don't think I'm the person to be in that program, but like, I would hire somebody who took that program because I think there's a
right,
lot of important things. Like, I think economics are very important, but I think at that time, like, I was like, yo, what is this? Like, what
yeah,
am I trying to do with this?
no,
I'm
no,
trying to do this now, you
like
know?
it is important. Economics, I would definitely
Yeah.
say law and governance. Law and governance
Yeah.
crucial.
I didn't even get to that
This no
point, you know?
for anyone who wants to know the law and governance, if you want to make sure that your business is like ethical and it's
It's
not
important.
breaking any, it's
It's
important.
important.
But I will say this, yeah, it was mostly theories and everything, and I
That's
could see
uni,
how
right?
like for you, it's like it's not really helping you in terms of like, okay, but how do I actually apply this? So
Yeah. I think one thing is that I'm a very like people who know me know that I'm very impatient. Like I'm trying to do things today type of thing. So
yeah,
like that kind of program like I love learning about like the importance of certain things when you're running a business because I also am a person who wants paperwork to be right from the jump. So like I think that program is a great program. Just maybe at that time, not for me. Maybe in the future I would take it just to actually have the knowledge that they're offering.
hmm
Because like, yo, you gotta know law when you're running a business. If you're trying to do like a global business too, like you gotta know economics. You gotta know these types of things. But if you're running a small business like a clothing brand, like a local, very, very local clothing brand, it's not gonna like you won't understand what you're trying to do with that, right? Unless you have a specific goal. But like I think that program is pretty good in terms of like the courses they offer in it.
yeah, like law is definitely good. Understanding that it for sure. It's just crazy to think that you took it for a couple of months and just said, "Yeah," because like, again, I was part of the Business and Society Student Association, so, like, I
Damn, okay.
probably would have probably popped in one of your classes without even noticing, and just, like, who knows, maybe the
Probably.
relationship could have started. I feel like our relationship kind of feels like the MCU's version of the multiverse. It's just like there's so much branch timelines where it's like we could have met here, we could have met here,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, like we finally met some point. It's crazy. So just tell me what your purpose that you have, like with your work, what you want to do, and like, is there like an end goal, or do you feel like you just want to keep pushing like the message of like, hey, this is what I do. I'm not sure what the end goal is exactly, but this is like kind of the trajectory that I'm headed on.
I don't believe there's ever an end goal. I like thinking very long term. I think that there are tasks along the way, and like, yeah, there are goals, but I don't think there's an end goal and like you just done from there. What I'm about is like, I like doing a lot of community based things because I think it's important to build, like the city that you're from, even or even the community you're from. Just one thing that I say a lot is like be the person who you wish you had when you were younger, and I think younger me would have loved to have a person like me around, like a mentor or something, like somebody who's giving those opportunities and like even just believing in people too. Like I'm very fortunate. Like everybody who I've met actually gave me a shot in working with them, because like I have no connections. Like everything that I've done, I've literally, by the grace of God, was able to align with other people who needed that during that time. But like I don't know anybody. Like I don't have a cousin who has this thing. Like I don't have anybody going into the industry, and so that's kind of even why I made Connect North York, because I was like, in the North York community, like I know people who liked certain things during certain times, but maybe they needed a mentor or somebody to believe in them for them to pursue it. Because even me out of high school, I didn't take media. I took business because I just wanted, like, I had a business and I'm like, all right, I think I'll just go take business. But when I got into the media program and I told people, they're like, why didn't you just do that out of high school? And I'm like, oh,
I didn't know at the time.
yeah. I'm like, at the time, like, I didn't even think that that was a thing, you know? And like,
Hmm.
even my brother, he did his co-op with me, and by the end of his co-op, he realized like he can turn animation into a career. And like, good, you realize that, and I'm glad, because I wish I realized that for myself too in the like media industry. But
Hmm.
yeah, I would say what I'm about is like sharing resources. I feel like my purpose on this earth is like, I'm not the one who might be in the limelight, you know, but I'm gonna be that person who shared an opportunity with that person, or like shared something with somebody else who can go and make it for themselves, type of thing. Yo, even me having my own podcast, I didn't want to do that. Like, from
Yeah.
like if okay, FYI guys, I have the linked podcast.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, she's coming back with the episodes too, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm, yo, Sean, you're gonna get on my episodes too. Like, I need you in. We're gonna book that. We're gonna book that after this. But
Yeah.
I started a podcast in 2020. I actually started the podcast, but it was actually an idea from like 2018 or 2019. And I had two hosts ready, but you know, schedules didn't align, and like there was just scheduling things with people, and like those two people weren't really working like in their careers yet, so they were just busy, and like our schedules just never lined up. But I was like, you know what, forget it. Like I can't wait. Like I need to do it. Like somebody has to do it. Who's gonna do it? I'm just gonna go ahead and be the host. I did not want to be in front of the camera at all, but like who else was gonna do it for real? So I was just like, okay, I have to show my face. I have to be the host. I have to do the research, you know? So it wasn't a choice for me to do that. I tried.
Hmm.
It didn't work out, and I was like, let me just take this into my own hands. But like I don't want to be the person in front of the camera, or like that's not me.
And like, if I could jump in, sometimes like you don't have to be the person in front of the camera. Like what people don't
No.
realize, like podcasts, like they're meant to be like on audio. You're supposed to hear it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think video, that's if you just want to really show out, just like, hey, let
Mhm.
me show my personality. It's fine. But people don't know. I didn't try to be on camera at first. Like I was always like just doing audio and everything, and then just one day I said, you know what? Just do video. Like at
Yeah.
first, I used to drop like full episodes on like YouTube and everything, thinking like, okay, this probably will work and everything. I kid you not. There are times I got no views, like
Yeah,
zero.
people want to see. People need the visuals to
Like
go with the audio.
people,
Like,
yeah,
what when they're busy, like yeah, they'll put the podcast while they're like driving or working out. But
yeah,
like people prefer the visuals, and I think people need the visuals too. Like I think it's just a human thing. Like I work
yeah.
in sales right now, and like one sales tip that I give to like, okay, I guess I'm giving to the world now. Like visually write out like what you're offering to your customer, because when you throw a bunch of numbers to your customer, they don't know what's going on and they're confused. They'll come back and they're going to be upset. But if you write down and like show them like, hey, this is what you're getting, do you want this deal? They'll understand it and trust you and be like, oh, okay, that's great. So that's just a sales factor. But like people, like we're visual people. Like I think a lot of people are visual like learners just in general. They need that, especially if it's like two people talking. Like
Yeah.
yeah, we're social beings.
I think personally, like for me, and like I definitely hear you. I think for me though, like that mystique when they don't know, and like I think it also matters if you have personality. If you're someone that doesn't have that much personality, cameras and visuals help. I feel like for me, and everyone says this too, they're like, this guy has like so much personality, like he could do an episode by himself, which I've
Yeah.
done many of time. And it's like when they see me in person, they're just like, "Yo, you're shy?" He's like, "Yeah." Just like, "Bro, like you sound so lively on the mic," and it's just like, "Yeah," just like I'm just being me. But
Yeah. But in real life, you're like, I am chilling.
yeah, I'm just that's the thing. Like, I will be open to people, especially to events. But most of the times, if no one's looking to talk with me, I'm just minding my own business.
Yeah. Yo, like speaking about that, like I went to an event. Shout out to Grow Connected. They did an event featuring like three very wonderful women from the industry, the music industry. But I'm in like the only picture they have of the crowd, and literally the camera is focused on me, and I have bitch face. Like, bro, like I'm like, oh, that's sick, that's me. But then I realized like I sent this to somebody. I was like, yo, here's proof, because I like I had to switch my shift with somebody because I had work that day. I'm like, yo, here's proof I went to this event, and they're like, yo, why do you look so uninterested? I'm like, no, I was having the time of my life. I just have bitch face.
Like,
It's so
how do I
funny.
explain it to you?
Yeah.
I'm not photogenic, but
No.
I was enjoying myself. It's
I
like
I was having the best time. Like I tell you, like the knowledge, so much knowledge, but I was like, that's what I look like, and they're like, is this the face you make under your mask? I'm like, yeah, that's my face. Like
it's like you feel like an NBA reference. It's like Kawhi Leonard when he won the chip. It's just kind of like everyone's like, yeah, and then Kawhi's like, yeah, we good,
yeah,
we
we're
good.
good.
Just a
Like
dead stare, we good. But like, inside, I'm like, I'm happy. It's just
I'm
like,
happy, yeah, yeah. But
nah, I feel you, I feel you. Yeah, that's perfect, that's perfect. So, I want to go on to the next question. I know I put these as two separate questions, but I think I want to kind of tie them in because they kind of correlate to each other. So, I wanted to talk about like OTR. So
mhm.
I know that's another thing that you're a part of. Like I said, there's so much you're a part of. Connect New York, OTR, Connect Collective. There's so much, right? So I did want you to share like what OTR is, how it got started, and just also how do you juggle all these different, responsibilities? Because again, it's probably a lot. And that's just for you, like in terms of like this is what I'm passionate about. Again, like you said, you do sales. Like that's an extra tack on everything. So like again, please explain like what OTR is and just how you're able to just balance your life with all the work that you're doing.
So one thing with Connect Collective, with Connect North York, with OTR. Like these are all things that I personally own. I manage all of those Instagram accounts, all those businesses. I manage everything behind that, down from like even the clothing brands, like designing, making sure the files are right, actually shipping the orders to me, doing like a quality check, washing the clothes, packaging. Like I do everything behind the scenes. Like and like the thing is I love it though, so I'm not like when people are like, oh, like you do so many things, I love it, so I'm gonna do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But specifically with OTR, it was actually my Instagram account. It started off as an Instagram account for my photography, and the photography from that was taking off an iPhone 4S. Like that's how I really started taking my photography more seriously. But like, yo, the pictures, like I'll send you a picture, but like they weren't bad off an iPhone 4S. Even to this day, when I show it to people, they're like, "This is iPhone 4S." Like, what? That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, it was my Instagram account for my photography. It went through a couple different names. Even right now, my photography account actually still exists. It's under Shine Synergy, which is also my YouTube channel. Um, but OTR, I started getting more like opportunities. I started getting hired for like some photography gigs, or I did my own personal projects, and I found that I was getting a lot of opportunities, and sometimes I can't take all the opportunities, or I'm not exactly a like I am a photographer, but that's not the one thing I want to specialize in. And I know
Right.
that there are people who want to be photographers or even like graphic designers. I do graphics too, but like I gotta hand it to myself. I do them well. Like people hire me to do these things, but it's not my one specialty. Like you can get somebody who is dedicated to photography or dedicated to like graphic design. And so that's kind of why I started OTR. Like I was getting all these opportunities. I'm like, yo, I know people who are trying to do this. Let me just hand it to them. Let me manage projects and like we can work as a team because I'm trying to build a team. And one thing I realized, even just now talking about it, you know when you have a CD album, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like there's a little book of the cover, right?
Right.
I just remembered like when I was younger, I would flip through it and like what those pages are all the credits on everybody who worked on the album.
Right.
So even to this day, whenever I see an Instagram post about a project, I love seeing that long list of credits because it's like,
Oh yeah.
yo, that one visual, you would think it's so simple. But there's like 200 people on that team trying to produce that thing. I want to get to that stage. So like, I know in the previous question I didn't really talk about an end goal. I think you have things that you want to do, but it's always going past that too and planning past that. So with OTR, that's kind of the goal with OTR right now. It's a media production company. We do different things. Like this year, we did like 2 music videos. We did a couple graphic designs, photography too. Like there's a list of individuals who you can hire through us, or you can hire us as a team. So websites, like literally everything. And like I do everything too. So like I'm also doing a mentorship with that. It's a free mentorship. I don't know if I'm really taking people right now because I'm gonna be doing the mentorship. But I also have co-op. Like I just finished one credit with the Waterloo Region District School Board, and so I'm trying to implement it into the Toronto District School Board, trying to make it in person too because it was all online because it was COVID. Um,
That might be a little bit hard because I know they're going some strike. They're in a strike situation right now.
yeah,
So
I know, but like yeah, like basically OTR is just a big opportunity, like resource for like locals in Toronto, and like yo, we even have people in Montreal. Like I have one guy, shout out to Manny, like he's based in Montreal. He did an interview with like 2 of the artists from there, and like it's on our page. So OTR, there's 2 aspects. There's the production aspect where we have our services, and we also have like the media entertainment side. So I'm working on something with that. Like I don't want to say anything yet, but like there's 2 different entities. One is like we provide services, and 2, like you're gonna see some stuff going on. But yeah, that's what OTR is right now. I don't know if I answered all the questions in that question.
you did, and like I think from everything you explained, like being able to like balance everything, it's because like you love it. There's a
Oh
passion.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
So
a lot of people get in those situations where it's like I'm doing 5 jobs or 5 different things, and it's just like I always ask them like, okay, I understand because sometimes we have different situation experiences that a lot of people may not be able to understand. But I always like to ask them the question like, are you happy though? Are you happy with what you're doing? Because if you're not, then maybe that's something you need to like reevaluate your
reevaluate. Yeah,
mental health. Like make
facts.
sure that you're in the best state and everything. So yeah, you definitely answered the question.
Oh, I think one of your questions was talking about like juggling everything. Like, yeah, I love doing everything. It's actually something I'm still working on. Like, I'm pretty backed up in terms of like editing. But like, I hope that in the future I work with somebody like dedicated, like somebody is my right hand with like photography. I have another right hand in animation. Like, I'm trying to have department heads for those things, and like I just want to do mostly project management or like managing the whole business and like different projects and just joining whatever project I want to basically. Like I'll have the option to join and like,
Right,
okay, I'm gonna do
right.
this, I'm gonna do that, but like, yo, that's you guys, that's your department.
Yeah, just to kind of like wrap things up, I did want to talk about, the conversation around like a mogul. Because like the whole time of this episode, because I see you going in that trajectory for real. Like I see like from a multimedia creative to a mogul. Because like, I tell you, the stuff that you're doing is insane,
I appreciate it.
absolutely insane.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so like I just want to like really break down like how do you establish that discipline for yourself where like you know what it's a lot of work and sometimes it's easy to let me just take a break. Once you take that one break you're like off the track. So like how do you keep that discipline and stay consistent with yourself so it's like you know what even though that this is a lot, I'm glad that like, I have something in the back of my head that keep telling me like just keep going. You're doing something important. Like it's always gonna like push through in the end.
I actually don't think I'm even consistent at all. like like for real, like I think I'm like very inconsistent. Especially when it comes to like juggling everything. I think sometimes I think it's a really bad thing that I juggle. Like I wish I specialized in one thing sometimes. And like I've really tried, but things keep coming up to me and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna do it. Like I don't even think about I guess I'm gonna do it. Like I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like fuck it, let's go. But like I don't know. I don't think I'm consistent. That's something I am working on. Damn, what was your question? Like there's just so
So
much
like
going in my head right now. I got myself confused.
So no, like I feel you. If I could like little just help you out a bit. So like for example, like no, there's like a lot of moguls that we see in the world today, like the Oprah Winfrey, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Bill Gates, and everything. And like people wonder, like you know what? I want to be like them. It's just like I want to be those top. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people when I was young, like I want to be just like them. And then like you realize like holy shoot, they juggle like so much. And like I think on the road to being a mogul, I think what you actually answered is perfect. Sometimes, like, you got to go through a little bit of inconsistency to find that rhythm and, like,
Hmm.
get on the right track. To be a mogul, that sometimes inconsistency is good because it gets you on the right track, but also having time for yourself. Like, have time for yourself. If you try to do everything thinking that, oh, I'm not allowed to break, I'm not allowed to like take time and just chill, you have to get that mindset out. You are allowed all the time you have. So like
So last month in October, I was working 7 days a week, like for the like I think from the 14th and forward, or no, not even that, like the week of the 14th, because I think the 14th was like a Friday. I just started the House and Adidas Creative Project Management Program. And so that program is only on the weekends. So it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And like thank you to my manager at my day job, Tyler. Honestly, if he didn't make it work with my schedule, there's no way I would have done that program. And like that program was actually such a big help for me to reaffirm like I'm on the right track. I would work my day job for 4 days and then be there on the weekends. And I still managed to get in 3 episodes of like my first 3 episodes of season 2 for the podcast while doing like everything else. Like I think that's one thing with me with the consistency, because just a tip for anybody, like once you start, you can't stop. Like you can't drop the ball. I've done it so many times with my clothing brand where I'm on a roll, I just did a drop, orders are coming in, and then I just stop. Like I stop either doing drops, I stop promoting, like I just somehow some way it's affected the business and then I have to start again with getting the traction back up. So like even me right now, like it is November 12th, right? Even me, I'm like, okay, I have more time now. But I'm more tired now than I was working the 7 days straight that I was during the rest of October. And it's because there was a rhythm. It's like, all right, this day I have this thing. I'm going to try to get this day, this thing done and that thing done. And then I have that other thing I'm trying to do and like this other thing too. But like my schedule is like I didn't mind that it was packed because I loved doing it all. But I was in a rhythm. And like you can't stop with the rhythm too. And so in terms of like, yo, Sean, I'm grateful that you consider me this title. Like that's actually that's like when I saw that when you wrote that, I was like, oh, oh, okay. That's okay, okay. Like I don't even see myself as that. I just see myself doing the things that I want to do. And like when you love what you're doing, you make time. You make time for the things you love, including like not just business, but your personal life. Like yeah, I have like 7 days working. Like even now, I'm still working 7 days, but just on my own time now, not on a schedule where I'm in a program. But I'm
Right.
making time to like see people or talk to people that I want to talk to and like be with people that I love too, right? I think we make time for the things that in a good way and bad way. If you're not making that time, like that just shows like is this a priority to me? So, yeah.
Yeah, and listen, I again, I put the mogul because again, like when you think of a mogul, it's like someone like a household name, and again, I see that in you. I see the next like
I
couple
appreciate that.
years,
Like,
like
yo, I
yeah,
appreciate that a lot.
of course. But that's pretty much it. That's all we have for this episode, the Safe Room Podcast, Sunshine. Thank you so much. I'm glad we got this done. This
Yeah.
was awesome.
Thank you for having me. Yo, shout out to Sean. This guy, he's doing his thing and he keeps doing like I don't just see your podcast. You know that I see your LinkedIn too, I see everything that you're doing with everything else that you do and like Sean, you yourself, there's a lot, this is why we can talk for hours because I think we haven't even unlocked everything. Like this is basically one of the first times we're actually talking, like in terms of getting to know each other. And I think that there's a lot that we can relate to in terms of like work ethic and like not just work ethic but beliefs because also the other things you do outside of the podcast, like literally is about community, right? So like there's so much we could
Yeah,
talk about with that too. That's just a whole another 10 episodes, but
yeah.
like Sean put in the work too with the research and like I do the exact same thing. So I think there's a lot that we have in common just to unlock in the future. And like I really appreciate, even what the Safe Room podcast is about. Like it's about being in a safe space, and, like talking and like, like I fuck with that.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, man, I just try to do what I can do. But again, I'm really glad that you're able to have this conversation. Let people know where they can find you on social media.
Okay, so my main social media is at Sunshine, which is spelled Sunshvne. That's also my website where you can find my entire portfolio for literally everything that I do. I also run at OTR Everything, at CNNCT Collective, and at Connect North York. Those are my main handles on Instagram, which links to everything else. And then also check out my YouTube channel that I'm trying to work on. So it's Shine Synergy. So I do like vlogs and like experimental like videos and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, guys, as you see, like all the accounts, I'm gonna make sure I get all of them in the
Yo,
description.
Loki, I have more, but like those are the main ones, all right? Just focus on those ones.
Yeah. Hey, listen, no, if you have more, plug yourself in. That's one thing I want people to know. Like, listen, when you come on the show, plug yourself in. I literally just did actually, I was invited to be on another person's podcast
Damn.
and like I let them know everything I did. I'm like, I don't care, bro. Like, so like listen, there's more. Tell
All
us.
right, so like there's the photography account, which also has my like visual works on it. So that's also at Shine Synergy on Instagram. I have this other page which is kind of based on like fashion and interior design, which is at 416 Shine. And at 416 Shine is also my TikTok handle. I think that those are the main, yeah, just those two extra ones. But like, yo, if
Okay.
there's anything, anybody listening, if there's anything you're trying to do, work on, or whatever it is, yo, just hit me up. Let's have a conversation. Let's get to know each other and see what's going on from there. But yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you guys for listening to the Safe Room. You can find me on Instagram at the Safe Room Official, on Twitter, the Safe Room Pod. I'm also on TikTok. That's a work in progress right now. But TSR Podcast. Same for YouTube. Just type in the Safe Room Podcast. You can check out my website, thesaferoompodcast.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We just dropped our September newsletter. I'm dropping the October one very soon. I've been a little behind, but listen, if you're one of my subscribers, you know how much work I put in that newsletter. You know how much work, so you wouldn't want to miss that. Also, go check out the theme song for the podcast as well, man. Go check it out as well. First Lady by me, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all streaming platforms. But yeah, until then, Sunshine, thank you again, and see you guys next time.